Hello and welcome back to the Good 5 Cent Cigar Newscast. I'm Zach Austin, thank you for joining us. Coming up, a look back at the official reopening celebration of Ranger Hall, then a glimpse into your week at URI. And as always, stay tuned for your Rhody Sports Corner. With the renovations of Ranger Hall's 2nd through 4th floors being completed earlier this semester, the Harrington School of Communication and Media held a grand opening ceremony on the quad last week, with a number of notable figures speaking at the event. I had the chance to attend the event and sit down with a Harrington School and brand ambassador to learn more about what went into planning the occasion. On Friday, the University of Rhode Island celebrated the official reopening of Ranger Hall, the Harrington School of Communication and Media's new home.
Welcome to the grand opening celebration. A really remarkable day.
The ceremony was held outside on the quad, with key speakers including Dean of Arts and Sciences Dr. Jen Riley, URI President Mark Parlange, Richard J. Harrington, whom the school is named after, and URI alum and CNN Chief National Correspondent John King. In his speech, King reflected on his time at URI and how important it is for students to take advantage of the opportunities that the school provides.
I can only tell the students who are here now, you might not realize it every day, but you're getting the same gift that I now realize I got when I walked this beautiful place.
Later on, Dr. Riley emphasized the importance of going into the field of communication and media, especially in today's digital age.
It's perhaps never been more important to study communication, to train bright young journalists, documentarians, and filmmakers, to find new ways of disseminating information, and to nurture great writers and communicators, all of the things that the Harrington School does.
Following the ceremony, guests were invited to the ribbon-cutting ceremony in front of Ranger Hall before the celebration continued inside. Guests went on tours throughout the building, while food and refreshments were served downstairs in the Harrington Hub. Daisy Gates is one of many Harrington brand ambassadors that worked the event. With an event of this magnitude, every detail had to be perfect.
So today we got here early. We got here at 9 and we were helping set up the tent. We were placing plants in places to make sure they looked good. We had to put the backdrop up behind the stage. So there are a lot of moving parts, but everybody was working really hard and there was a lot of planning.
As a Harrington student herself, majoring in communications and PR, Gates is excited to see what the future holds with the new technology available to students.
They're really getting some real-world experience, and it'll be one step closer to moving on to the real world.
According to Dean Riley, the newly renovated floors will open up 23,600 square feet of learning space for students. Reporting in front of Ranger Hall, I'm Zach Austin, 5 Cent Cigar News. Now here's your week at URI. Tomorrow, Friday, October 28th at 8 p.m., the Gender and Sexuality Center and the RKO Army are teaming up and getting into the Halloween spirit by hosting their annual showing of the Rocky Horror Show. The community can have some more spooky fun this weekend for a good cause. On Saturday, October 29th, the Engineers for a Sustainable World are holding the Eco Spook Fest Run, which includes a 1-mile race and a sustainable costume contest. The festivities will begin at 10:30 a.m. on the quad. Finally, Intramural Sports is inviting students to participate in an exciting battleship tournament on Wednesday, November 2nd. Teams of 4 will join forces with the goal of sinking their competition's canoes. Ships will set sail at the Toutel Aquatic Center, with up to 18 teams competing for the title. And now over to Aidan Garvey with your Rhody Sports Corner.
Thanks, Zach. I'm Aidan Garvey, and this is your weekly edition of the Rhody Sports Corner. Given the recent success of the football team, it has been easy to focus on the past year and a half of success. However, one key piece that has been there through thick and thin is sixth-year linebacker Jake Fire. I got the chance to speak with Fire as well as defensive coordinator Jack Cooper to discuss what lights the flame inside Jake Fire.
When it comes to Jake Fire, his journey to URI was not an orthodox one. After playing his final down of high school football, the Stowe, Mass native was unsure about what his future in football entailed.
Well, initially, I was unsure of my plan to play college football, and I fell in love with the school. I visited with my parents, and I loved it and everything. You know, I talked to the coaching staff, and I had an opportunity to walk on here, and, I'm forever thankful for that opportunity.
After committing to URI, Fire did not play his freshman year. He earned his stripes like the other walk-ons. As he grew as a player and a person, he gained more playing time and recognition. Defensive coordinator Jack Cooper knows firsthand what Fire brings to the team.
He's made a tremendous impact on our defense on a daily basis. He's a very hard worker. He brings a tremendous energy to practice. He's really the first one around on the field every single day, and he does a really good job. So yeah, he's brought a lot to our defense from an energy standpoint, and he's a relentless player in the game too as well. And then he's very hard in his studies. He does a really good job studying the playbook, studying the film, studying the calls, studying the checks, and gets us in the right stuff in the game.
Fire has had an outstanding 2022 statistically, leading the Rams in tackles, tackles for loss, quarterback hurries, and even recorded his first interception in the Governor's Cup against Brown. Fire explained why he has been so successful this year.
I think it's just overall just trusting Coach Coop and Coach Rhody and the rest of the defensive coaching staff. But just by playing within the scheme of the defense, the plays will come your way, and that's something that they preach. Just play within the scheme, do your job, do what you can, and make the plays that come your way. And last season, I maybe didn't do the best with that, but I maybe tried to do a little bit too much, try to play like my own style of football. And this year, I've just completely bought into these coaches and what we're building here and building for the future. So just by playing within the scheme of the defense, that's all.
With Fire being a natural leader on the team, it is obvious that he is valued by the coaching staff. Cooper had some words to how he values Fire's position on the team.
Yeah, he's just from a tangible standpoint, he's going to push you to be a lot better. He's going to push you schematically. He's going to he's going to ask you a lot of questions, right? He's going to ask you different checks, different things that we need to get into. So he's going to challenge you as a coach, which is really good. And yeah, he's a pleasure to coach. He's obviously we're going to miss him big time next year.
And with all that glowing praise, Cooper sees a future for Jake in football after college, just not in pads.
No, it's good. He's a great player. He's going to be a really good coach too one day. Make sure you add that in. He's going to be an awesome coach.
For the Good 5 Cent Cigar, I'm Aidan Garvey.
Women's rowing competed at the head of Charles Regatta this past weekend. With more on how the team did, here's Erin Brown.
The University of Rhode Island women's rowing team competed in the prestigious Head of the Charles race in Boston last weekend.
Well, this is the Head of the Charles. It's the largest regatta in the world.
It was a great experience, and I think we're both glad that we were able to be a part of this today because it's such a international famous race. And now we can both say that we rode the Head of the Charles.
We had a double and a single row today, and tomorrow we have a championship 4 rowing.
I was going in mostly for fun for this race. I'm naturally competitive, so that's kind of a lie, but I was the youngest by a few years in this category, so I was just trying to get experience in doing it, and so that way I can come back next year and really do it. So yeah.
The double was raced by 2 walk-ons, which was a testament to the team's successful novice program.
We have 3/8 of novices right now, which is a pretty large group. And hey, a lot of great rowers like myself. I was a walk-on in college, and I ended up in the in the Olympics. So I think it's possible, and I think it's the only sport in college that you don't know anything about, and you can actually get good at it pretty quick, and you can do it with fellow people your own age. So at the age of 18, you can learn a new skill, and you could become a A10 champion.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that we made it this far. When you start this, you're kind of bottom, and you just work your way and train. And now that we were the 2 chosen for the double, it's insane that we made it that far.
The fall to me is fun, and it gets the athletes out to race. The spring season is the championship season for me, and I'm always looking at the championship season. May 14th is what I'm looking at. So this is part of the journey we're taking to get there.
Erin Brown, 5 Cent Cigar News.
Now the scores around campus from the past week. Football took a historic win from Monmouth. The longest game in FCS history also doubled as Jim Fleming's 50th career win. Men's soccer tied Loyola on Saturday before dropping in an out-of-conference matchup versus Brown. Women's soccer dropped their season finale against Dayton on Sunday. Finally, women's volleyball dropped both contests to Loyola last weekend. That's it for this week's Sports Corner. Back to you, Zach.
That's all we have for you this week at the 5 Cent Cigar Newscast. As always, make sure to check us out at rhodycigar.com and follow us on social media at Rhody Cigar. From Kingston, Rhode Island, I'm Zach Austin. Have a great week, Rhody.